the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now
hey guys, welcome back to another week. Sorry I've been gone so long. It's been 2 weeks. I told you that my truck was making a noise in my last video, and they did have to do some warranty work. The exhaust manifold on the driver's side had a leak, the exhaust manifold gasket, so they had to order parts and replace that. And that whole trip, it took a week to get an appointment and then another week for them to get parts and get it corrected. So that's why I've been gone for 2 weeks. Now I'm over here at Con Global, got loaded up with a container, but my paperwork from the broker says it's supposed to be a high cube and it's supposed to have the doors in front and the back. Well, this is not a high cube and it's only got doors in the front. And just a couple weeks ago, another company loaded me with a completely wrong product, so I noticed that immediately. I told the guy loading it, he called the office, you know, the Con Global here, and they said this is the correct container. So it took a minute to get a hold with the broker. The broker is now trying to verify with the customer that this is a container that he ordered, because as long as that this is a product that he ordered, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what I bring him, as long as this is something he paid for. But just little things like that, guys, to pay attention to. So now I'm in sit and wait mode, and we'll see what the broker has to say. Hopefully everything's all good. Well guys, bad news. Waiting on a new release number for the correct container that the customer wants, and they won't unload the container I have until I have a new release number, because they just want to pick it up and drop a new one on. And so I've been kicked out of the line. The line's not very long, so the line's moving fast. So I've been kicked out of the line twice because I don't have a release number. So now I decided I'm just gonna sit here in the strapping securement area, sit and wait, and hopefully they don't hit a rush hour again, because when I got here, the traffic was all the way down the road, and this is 4 lanes wide, and it took an hour to get in. So I'm done wasting my time. I've already been here for 2 hours, and the broker is acting like it's not a big deal, which is very odd. Normally if you've been here for more than 2 hours, you get compensated, and this is something that's not my fault. This is the customer requested the wrong container, wrong release number. It has nothing to do with me. So I'm really bugging her right now, trying to get some money. One thing I always think about when I see these towers, since we're in Washington and we get earthquakes, is if there's an earthquake, where are you supposed to go? Where's your safe zone? Well, somebody is having some medical issues at the truck stop. Hopefully they're okay. All right, we're going through the Idaho Panhandle, I believe it is, heading into Montana. Beautiful weather, as you can see, which is very nice. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't want to haul on icy roads. You can see the side road, it is a sheet of ice, but the highway they take care of. So hopefully everything else is as smooth as this. All right guys, a little update. Pit stop at the nice way station, or not way station, but rest area here in Montana. Super nice, individual bathrooms and all that. Looking on my ComData app, I found where I'm going to get fuel, plus I get 20 cents off of that price. So fuel's a little cheaper out here, it looks like. And then one side note, after you go through Hagen and that way station there, they've inspected me twice in a row. This time I was going over the scales. It had me stop on the scale from a truck, stop on my scale from a trailer. Like, that station is just really on it, trying to find people or get people, apparently. But one of the craziest things is, after that weigh station, you're going down this mountain and there's a sign that says 45 miles an hour for like 7 miles, and there's no internet, so internet connection in that area. It's a bad spotty area. So my Waze app won't tell me where the police are because, you know, I don't have internet connection. Well, sure enough, on one of the long runaways, there's a commercial motor vehicle police officer sitting there looking for semi trucks just flying down. Luckily, I was just, you know, cruising 45 miles an hour on cruise control, no issues. But I'm sure he got some people today. But it's pretty nice out, not a lot of snow, just a little dusting. And yeah, let's get back on the road. Some great scenery out here. Just left Missoula, heading up Highway 200 in the Great Falls. And yeah, it's very nice. It'd be nice to have the money one day to afford to live out here for sure. Well guys, we're at a weigh station just out of Oviedo. First time I've been stopped here, but getting a full-scale inspection after I just passed my DOT audit, literally 3 days ago. So we'll see. All right guys, easy peasy paperwork inspection passed, of course, you know. But yeah, let's get back on the road. Well, we're getting ready to head over this pass. It's definitely very windy. All that is just snow blowing around. It's blowing all around the road. So I'm hoping it's just snow blowing around in the air and not actual snow falling. Well, we're at the bottom of the pass and it is snowing. It looked like this over the pass. Just went 35 miles an hour and no exhaust brake and all that. No problem. No chains required. It must have just started. It's not really heavy. It's not, I don't know, the road's not a whiteout, right? So it's not too bad. But now we're going 50 just because it's snowing. The truck speed limit is 65, but obviously we're not going to do 65 when it's snowing and it is 16 degrees out. I don't know if you can see that, but there is ice on the road in spots and areas, so just trying to play it safe. All right, pulled over in one of these chain removal areas since we're at the bottom of the pass. Put on the snow grill because the temperature dropped dramatically, and then topped off the fuel since we're stopped, because we're burning through fuel up here. Yo, can you guys see this guy out there? He be acting. He's been out there for like 5 minutes just doing this squatting thing. Up. He must be on to me. He's walking away. He be acting weird, like trying to harness his Dragon Ball energy or something out in the snow, and it's like 12 degrees outside. All right guys, so just finished eating, but man, these work lights really work nice. I just added fuel treatment to the fuel tank and fuel treatment to the auxiliary because it's gonna get down to like 0 degrees tonight. And then at the fuel pumps over here, the DEF, I tried topping off my DEF, didn't need it, but you know, maybe a gallon. But the pumps shut off automatically after 15 degrees. So because of that, I bought a 2.5 gallon, just because if it doesn't warm up, and all the pumps are like that, I'll be out of luck. So you know how these trucks are. You can't go anywhere without death. So got that as the emergency. It's inside so it doesn't freeze up. And yeah, our delivery is about 40 minutes away from here. Deliver that in the morning, and hopefully we'll get something and get out of here, because this snow was not in the forecast. All right, the Great Falls sunrise. We're about an hour out from our drop, and it looks like we finally got back onto some clear roads. So, all right, hopefully the rest of the trip is like this. All right, we are on the farm following the tractor guy. I guess this is also a big cattle farm, so he does this on the side for some extra income, selling containers. But it is snowing. It was 5 miles on a gravel road. Luckily it's just like an inch of snow, and there was no other traffic coming towards me, so pretty simple and easy. But I'm gonna put this away and get this container unloaded. All right guys, well, the farmer just used his tractor to throw hay down the line since, you know, there's snow. So all the cows are out. Goes all the way down there. They're on a line. There's probably, I don't know, maybe 60, maybe 70 on this pasture. Pretty nice. And here he comes with the big forklift. Get this off here. All right, before I take off, I did 701 miles for this trip, averaged 5.6 miles per gallon. I got paid $16.50. That equals $2.35 a mile. So I paid decent coming out here. Now I'm gonna try to get an oil change, because I checked the oil this morning and it was like at the bottom of the dipstick on the low end. Wasn't. So I bought a quart of fluid and put it in there. So maybe that's why the check engine light came on. I also have 8% oil life left, so I don't know. I'm gonna go back into town, drop my trailer. There's a dealership, and if they can't get me in, there's some other places I can do it. Hopefully get that all squared away real quick, super easy, and then get back on the road. It looks like there's quite a few loads coming out of Missoula, but it's snowing. They weren't paying great, but I mean, at this point, anything to get out of here, I mean, it's better than staying here. So we'll see what happens after we get serviced. So you guys can see, I didn't want to record while I was loaded, but now that we're unloaded, this is the type of gravel road I was going down. You know, an inch of snow or whatnot, no traffic. It's actually really smooth for a gravel road, but I'm assuming because it's got snow and ice on top of it, it's kind of smoothed out all the rough spots. But yeah, all right, there's a little wind farm. The owner was saying this road's really bad normally, but since they started building this wind farm, they've kind of maintained this road a little bit better. So all right, I'll let you know if anything else exciting comes up, but I don't think there will be. Just going back in the same direction I came, back to Great Falls. Alright guys, a little update. Finished having lunch. Was able to go to Valvoline, I believe it was, get an oil change. I did go to O'Reilly's to check out the check engine light, and then I went to the dealership. Even though they couldn't service me, they talked to a diesel specialist. The code is for the diesel particulate filter, low pressure, bank 1. So it could be a result of that leaky exhaust manifold gasket, but it didn't, that code or check engine light didn't come on until 200 miles after the repair. So they recommended that I get it in while it's under bumper to bumper, but that means I need to be home, because while I'm out on the road, I can't just get a hotel for a week. It's too expensive. So gonna be trying to get back home. Just finished up filling out broker paperwork with the new broker, picking up a load. It's a skid steer. It's 2 miles away from where I'm at, going to Idaho. And from Idaho, we'll figure out how to get back home and unfortunately get this back in the dealership. But what caught my attention is I came over here to double check all the fluids, make sure everything was put back together after my oil change, and I noticed the bolt for this alternator is all the way out. So luckily I had some wrenches, was able to get that tight, and yeah, I mean, it's another reason why they say to pop your hood and check your oils and all that stuff for your pre-trips, because dumb stuff like that happens. I mean, that'd be awful if I lost my alternator, you know, going down the road. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. It's freezing. All right guys, we're at this huge dam. They're rebuilding the dam. Pretty cool. Kind of frozen over a little bit, but I got this skid steer loaded up. Took a long time, longer than it should have. I messed up a couple times, had to correct myself. But I'll show you. This bucket is just sitting on top of this forklift attachment. So I got this going underneath the bucket, going across, securing it that way. And then I realized that's really not enough. This could still bounce around. So then I took a chain, pulling it down to this, and over and across, so that way both sides are the same. They're pulling the bucket down and that one's pulling it in. So now it's not going anywhere. Initially I had this chain going through here, but then I realized that's kind of a hydraulic attachment. It's probably not the strongest point, and it was going underneath this bucket, the chain was, and I didn't think that was a very good idea. The bucket started moving, and that's when I realized I should probably find a different way. So went there, down, so that way it's pinching from both angles. But besides that, everything else is pretty basic. It was a little sketch going up the ramps because the tracks on this are pretty worn out. So it was a little icy. There's not like, you know, I mean, this is frozen and this is frozen. This is all smooth and soft. So not the greatest loading conditions. There's a little bunny rabbit running around right there. Seen a bunch of those, but I'm gonna go ahead and top off the fuel tank, and this is scheduled to deliver on Monday, so probably won't get delivered today, but we'll try to, you know, make our best judgment. We could get to our location today, but if it's going to be snowing over the pass and stuff, and it's not going to be tomorrow or Sunday or, you know, whatever, it would make more sense to wait for better weather, because it doesn't need to be here to be there today. But man, we're getting dirty in these driving conditions. All right, let me top off this fuel, hit the road. All right guys, we're gonna end it here for the week. Tomorrow it's supposed to stop snowing, so Saturday and Sunday it's supposed to be nice clean weather. Deliver Monday, we're 6 hours away, so we'll hit the road probably Sunday. As you can see, it's just white. The highways are bad, the side roads are bad. It was pretty sketchy, going like half the speed limit. Just sketchy going 16 miles. It was 16 miles to pick this up and another 16 miles back. It was sketch, so not worth it. I did hit the scales, got 9,200 on the axle, on the rear axle, so we're able to go 10, so we're good there. So gonna shut it down. We'll see you next week.